1-800-449-8255. It's the incredibly fabulous Clark the Shark talk radio show where I'm just filming Google because I actually don't have a penny in two bank accounts. Welcome to SSDI, where you get money on the 3rd or the 1st, or you don't even know when you get it, but you get it and it's already spent and gone right here on the Clark the Shark show. So I can't afford data on the other phone. It's just blank and it just shows Google. Maybe there will be some Dave Grohl ads. Inevitably, it's dude. I mean, we have to learn about Dave Grohl and or like ads about Metallica and James Hetfield's favorite record from 1984. Right here on the Clark the Shark show, or George Harrison once got angry at John Lennon. Fake news. I noticed that fake news is really popular now here on the Clark the Shark Talk radio show, where people buy their own news. And if I had money, I would buy news and put it right here on Google about Clark the Shark, and then all of you could read it and you'd be like, Sharky, that's just fake news. And I'm like, no, dude, I swear to God, since I bought it and it's on Google, kind of like the endless Dave Grohl news. He buys his own publicity or something. Like he has a publicity company in Hollywood or out in Encino or the Valley or the San Fernando Valley or Van Nuys or North Hollywood. I don't know, Hollywood, somewhere, Beverly Hills. He has a publicity company that endlessly gives you news forever about Dave Grohl. And I always just thought it was the liberals forever promoting Blake Douchebag. But, maybe, I don't know, dude. It's Courtney Love buying news and the daughter of Blake Douchebag buying news and Dave Grohl buying news. And who knows, maybe Pat Smear buying news. It's the first thing they teach you up in Hollywood is they're like, dude, you got to buy fake news on Google. I know a publicity company that will get you box ads on Google forever, Sharky. And then you can be like Dave Grohl and just, you can do anything. You can cheat on your wife and no one will care because there's endless fake news about you in Google. People turn on their Android or their iPhone or they go on their home PC and bingo, there's Dave Grohl. Doesn't matter if he cheats on his wife, his daughter. Dude, it doesn't matter because there's so much money. His wife will just come back to him and spend Christmas with him. They're not even real. They're not even human. I made them up, you guys, because even I love Blake Douchebag and I want to talk about him forever. Yeah, dude, just forever right here on the Clark the Shit show. It's fabulous, you guys. We just, liberalism. We just talk about it. Our government's 40 trillion in debt. It doesn't matter. It's all Elon Musk and Trump's fault that we can't afford like 180,000 federal workers where we're 40 trillion in debt and we don't even need them. They just come and drink coffee all day. But even they want to talk about Blake Douchebag and that incredible band, that three-piece band from Seattle way back in 1991. They hit it big on MTV. They were called the Douchebag Effect. And they're so much better and more important than me, Clark the Shark. In fact, God is like, yeah, Sharky. Or maybe he's like, no, Sharky, keep on fighting it, bro. Go to church and pray and fight it. Like, dude, it's like the movie, uh, The Shark Tricks, not The Matrix. We're all here floating in space on a blue ball. Do unto others, Sharky. Like love everyone and you'll be happy. And if you see someone do random acts of kindness, it's probably true, you guys, right here on the Clark the Shark Show, because Google told me and you to do it. Stop being miserable, Sharky, in the Matrix. I swear to God, you guys, I actually live in a matrix. It's an aquarium that floats in space. It's got a lot of water, and there's me and a bunch of humans. Other people, there's fascinating things, bees making combs and fish eating fish. You can watch it all on YouTube right here on the Clark the Shark Radio Network, baby. Watch interesting things on YouTube and Google forever. And God's like, yeah, Sharky, be interested in this earth floating in space. Do unto others. Love everyone here, and it will all be okay. It probably will or won't be. I don't know. Right here on the Clark the Shark Radio Network. But I'm not kidding. I live in a thing where there's endless ads about Dave Grohl. And maybe he's God. I know he played the devil in a movie. Um, or, dude, I mean, maybe I'm God. I don't even know. Or maybe all of you are right here on the Clark the Shark Google show. Because after all, you guys, we all live in Google. Like that movie Tron. Remember that? Where they all lived in a video game. Yeah, you guys, we're just living in a thing called Google. It's multicolored. Maybe look at that. It's blue, red, yellow, blue, green. Dude, it's like gay or something. It's like that diversity flag. And yeah, dude, it's weird how liberals talk about how being different is good and great and everything, and yet they don't want anyone different. They want everyone being liberal. And it's weird how conservative Christians on the right, like Hannity, are just nothing more than right-wing liberals. Instead of worshiping government like a liberal does, they substitute out that and put in God. And yeah, dude, I mean, I don't know, dude. And it's weird how God keeps giving us things like me, Clark the Shark. I have nothing. And then I look at my bank and it suddenly says $85,000. And I'm like, I don't know if this is good, bad, or what this is. And God's he's like, I don't know, Sharky, but there's $85,000. And for the last 3 years, it just says 12 cents or 17 cents or minus $9 or $17 or, and then the check comes on the third, or something right here on the Clark the Shark Show. But yeah, just pray and be happy and everything will be great. Sure. Here on the Sharky Google network. It's great, dude. Lately, I have this thing where I can't eat sugar. I guess it's diabetes, or it could be high blood pressure, or I don't know, dude. But I don't feel good, and I don't know if a lot of you out there know that, but not feeling good is one of the worst things. It's like having a nightmare when you're just walking around and you're like, "Oh, dude, I don't feel right. I don't feel good." And God is like, it's meant to be, Sharky, for today. You're not meant to feel good. You can't feel good forever, Sharky. No one can live forever. I mean, you're turning 60 April 27. And nobody can live forever, Sharky. You're only going to live another 10 years or maybe 30 years or maybe 100 years. It really doesn't matter, because what did you or I or anyone ever have here? Even if we have a house, a car, a great house, a lot of money, dude, you could be like Dave Grohl and you're still cheating on your wife. And what's even weirder is the wife and kids are back with him, and the girl, his kids are singing with him on stage, even though he cheated on their mom. I can't figure out liberal people. They hate everyone. They hate Trump. They hate Elon Musk. But they're like, you know what, dude, my dad cheated on mom. But because dad has a lot of money and he's famous, forgive and forget, just move on. Isn't that right, Grohl? Dude, isn't it weird how liberals can do anything? They can cheat on their wife and kids and no one cares. Right here on the Clark the Shark Show, in the this thing that floats in space, this blue ball that floats around. Yeah, dude. I'm not kidding you guys. I am on a blue ball that floats around a universe, and I don't know where the universe came from. God, I guess. There's perfect distance from the sun. The solar system's in an empty place in the universe, which is rare. And then it's fine tuned. The whole universe is fine tuned. It's weird, you guys. There is a God, 100%. And then there's liberals. They're like, no, dude. It's like dinosaurs. And, there's like UFOs and dinosaurs. And there's proof, Sharky. There's concrete evidence. And I'm like, well, all that is evidence that God did it. And now I'm like, wait a minute, dude. He's messing with us. Right here on the Clark the Shark Show. Like, dude, the guy we worship messes with us. Energy can neither be created nor destroyed. E equals MC squared. Only supernatural can create natural. Yet liberals are still trying to find a way. The Big Bang happened. They're like, well, Sharky, there was a ball of light floating in nothingness and then it exploded. And I'm like, well, there's a couple things wrong with that. Where did the ball of energy come from? And liberals are like, well, don't worry, Sharky, it was only the size of a golf ball. I'm like, oh, a golf ball exploded and just on its own. Liberals are like, yeah, dude, the golf ball exploded. I'm all, well, why did it explode? Why would a bomb go off all by its lonesome in the middle of nowhere in the universe? And they're like, well, we don't know that, Sharky. I'm like, that's because a God did it, liberal. And God's like, yeah, you tell him, Sharky. And I'm like, wait a minute, dude, God. If I was a liberal, I might say that too. I might be like, well, there's a golf ball just floating along one day of fire and then it exploded. God's like, well, come on, Sharky, we know that didn't happen. And I'm like, well, I know it didn't happen. It's bullshit. The liberals are making it up. But then I look at the Bible and I look at God and the way people are abducted and raped and beaten and tortured, and they live and die. They get cancer. They get run over. There's tornadoes. There's hurricanes. There's volcanoes. There's a Grand Canyon and like mountain goats just falling. And I'm like, God, you're like, your thing you got going where you created everything, it's not much better than like that theory where there's like a golf ball just floating along for no reason, that the liberals and some libertarian people of the right believe. That they believe this too. And now I realize we're all in Google. That's all it is, you guys. The Matrix is Google right here on the Clark the Shit Show. And I have no answers either, you guys. What is outside Google? It's just black. It's like nothingness. That's the universe, you guys. Right here on the Clark the Shark Google network. Just search. And you won't find anything, dude. There's no meaning. People are like, Sharky, love everyone. I'm like, yeah, dude. Don't you think a guy as smart as Clark the Shark would have, figured it out by now or some shit? And they're like, no, Sharky, because it's your fault. You did it. I'm like, I did what? They're like, you sin. Wrongdoing, Sharky. I'm like, yeah, dude, I sin. Well, it's so bad. Right here on the Clark the Shark Show. We all do. God's like, yeah, you're bad, Sharky. I'm like, God, I have like a little thing where I keep a snake in a cage and I throw mice in there and I'm like, snake, you sin. By the way, mouse, you sin too. They're like, Sharky, don't do that. That's a metaphor. That's not fair comparison. And I'm like, well, that mouse is a sinner and the snake is a sinner and the cage is a matrix floating in space. And there's suffering going on in there. Suffering being the snake with no arms or legs. He doesn't even know he's suffering. He's just like, I don't care, Sharky, I want a mouse. And then there's suffering with the mouse getting crushed and eaten or envenomated by a snake. Take your pick. Right here on the Clark the Shit Show. Be happy and pray, you guys. I have no answers, and neither do any of you. It's just you and me and Google floating in space. That's the whole universe right there, you guys. Google. Yeah, dude, Sharky, don't do that. It's a sin. I'm all, what is a sin? Oh, dude, Sharky, wrongdoings are a sin, Sharky. When you do your thing at night or, say a F word or anything virtually is a sin. And I'm like, what if I didn't sin, though? What if there was no sin? And they'd be like, that would be impossible, Sharky. That could never be because that would mean the devil doesn't exist. And I'd be like, so the devil is the sin. He makes me sin. They're like, no, you can't blame him, Sharky. You do it. 1-800-449-8255, the Sharkadoodle-Doo, the Sharkalama Ding Dong Show, where you're just floating with Google, baby, for eternity. Google. Look at it.